Yes, THFC, what's happening? So, it's hours after the derby, and I've listened to everybody's talk and chat, and it's back to reality, innit? And we are in a horrible position, a vital position. But do we have the ability to see it through and stay up in the Premier League? I think we do. And I'll say it like as I think it is. One, we've been here. We was here this time last year. The only difference is we had a manager that knew the team. And these managers have to learn his players over 5 days. And no matter how good a manager is, you ain't going to see a change within 5 days. And the injuries do play a big part in this. Because we do know if we had at least 5 or 6 out of the injured 11 players, they would all possibly have started that derby today. So that's that. And I think if the manager is a good manager tactically and knows football, he will know these are next 11 games. He has to pick his fights, meaning he has to pick the games what he thinks we should win. And as I said, we only need 3 to 4 wins. So today was a game really and truly going into it, as much as we think with ego and what's the word? Being fortunate, knowing you're not going to win something, but believing that you could. He was being optimistic in it. Yeah? Optimistically, we could have said, yeah, we wanted a draw. Didn't get that. Maybe if we had our proper 11, it might have been more of a battle. But we ain't going to have our proper 11 for the rest of the season. But slowly, some players should come back by the 2s and 3s. So if we get that by the end of March, we should be all right to finish up. But within that time, we've got to choose our battles. Fulham should be a game that we should be able to get a result. Crystal Palace, likewise. So those are the games where you put 100% in. Even though you know you've only got 13 to 14, what you would call fairly senior players to play with, you put 100% into those games. Then that should allow you to kind of write off the Chelsea game and the Liverpool game when it comes. Then after them 2 games, you should be having 4 to 5 mid-table teams where you can put the 100% in again to get the 3 points. Because realistically, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Aston Villa, Chelsea and Liverpool are the teams, even if you had your proper starting 11, it's going to be a task to beat them. So, seeing as though we've got a fragile squad and a limited squad, you have to choose your battles. Do you know what I mean? So we have to choose our battles. And hopefully Tudor chooses his battles right. And by the time certain other players come back, then it will allow him to have 15, 16, 17 first team players where you can 80-20 your battles and put 80% in against those other teams. Then we should be all right. Because we've been here before. And arguably, this injury crisis is worse than the one last season. That's the only bad thing. Because if we had some of those players what the manager previously chose to send out on loan, like the three defenders, the three midfielders, and the one striker, which is 7 come out academy players, but they was amongst the first team last season and had the experience from that. So they would have been able to make a difference now, but we haven't got them, so we can't talk about that. We can only talk about with what we have. And some say tactically today the manager made this mistake and he shouldn't have done this and he shouldn't have done that, but he worked with what he had and he's seen now who can do what he's asking and who can't. The good thing is that Richarlison has come back and Solanke should have got over his cold by next week. So we'll have 3 strikers. So out of the 3, you must play 2 up top. And ram out the midfield because you've got a load of good midfielders fit. And what you've got to do is play players in their position. Paulinho has to play in the middle of the park. Yeah, because he sets that pace with Sarr and Gallagher. If you're going to go that way. If you're going to go 3 at the back, you might as well play Archie Gray in the 3 with Dragson and Mickey van der Ven until Romero comes back and Danso comes back. But the good thing is we should be getting them back over the next 2 to 3 games. But that's enough from me. As always, come on you Spurs.